Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 9th of February 2021. Before I continue, there will be a lesson at the end of the video, so stick around for that. It will be lesson 3 on Euro JPY. We're going to be going through pretty rapidly the pairs, the usual excuse me, the usual suspects. But then I'm going to be going through a trade that I did on the pound USD. As you can see, the balance has increased by £10.61. I'll go through that in a second. So Euro USD, I made a note here of the liquidity where I believed if it does run up price, this is where price is probably going to end up, and then maybe a little bit higher to rebalance. And you can see, pretty much on cue. Very nice delivery of price on this. Now I'm probably going to do a separate session or episode on Euro USD probably later in the week, because there's some things that I want to go through on this, just to kind of illustrate a few points, because there's some very good things to discuss in terms of learning and education that we can pick up from Euro USD. In terms of where it's going next, if we just jump up to the daily, I was saying this mess here or this small consolidation here, we had a really nice price response, a little bit of a dip to pick up some more, and then some really nice movement today, and it's just eaten into this bit here, which you can see on the hourly excuse me, which you can see on the hourly, and then it's come into an area where we're expecting a little bit of slowdown, but if it really starts to gain some legs, it's up here. But for now, I'm going to go back down to the hourly. I'm going to leave the chart as it is like this, and then we'll kind of go through this in a separate video session, but we're going to continue to monitor it throughout the week. I'm going to skip past the pound USD for now. I'll come back to it and I'll show you the trade. As I was saying with pound Japanese yen, it looks like it's starting to accelerate a little, and I do want it to really start to push now. I'm not interested in running into this area as a long. I'm more interested in considering a fade as it runs into this area up here, but I really need to see it start to push now. So we'll just continue to monitor this. The pound Aussie dollar, again, not really a great deal happening. Still monitoring this, and again, for those of you who've watched these videos in the past, you'll know, if I see something, I don't change my mind very often. Okay, if I make a note of something, it stays there for a very long time. And then when I see it, I'm on. And then I will I'll jump on that when the time comes. But for now, not a great deal happening. Still interested in this level down here, but only when it confirms what I need to see. USD Japanese yen, it's an absolute mess. Not interested in this until it does something interesting. Pretty much the same on USD CAD. It is starting this week to just push a little. It's picked up here, it's taken out here. Yeah, no, I'm going to skip past this. Gold, I've not looked at gold today. Where are we at now? 1836ish, 1837. Again, still looking for 1750, guys, so I'm going to just continue to monitor that. Silver, until it starts to push, not interested. And so that's pretty much the general gist of this week. There's not really a great deal of news coming out this week for the market. It's quite a muted week, which is part of the reason why I actually got into this trade on the pound USD or cable. Now you'll notice, okay, the time that I got into this trade was around about, and I'll just go to the execution blotter. The time that I actually got into this trade was just before 8 o'clock GMT time. Okay, so about, you could say it was Asia, you could say a couple of hours before Asia, an hour before Asia, but it's when the market's starting to slow down and go into the sort of Asian session. And then I closed it out this morning, at 4:51. Just before 5 o'clock GMT time for £10.74 profit. You can see the pip difference. 137.44 was my entry, and then 137.79, or let's just call it 80, was my exit. So that's a pretty decent pip difference. I think this is in the wrong place. It is. Needs to be on that candle, and I did sit through that. So that little bit there, but the trade itself, and I'm going to be quick about this because I want to get into the lesson, but the trade itself, the main reason why I got into this trade is because of the daily. Okay, I mentioned the daily in previous sessions or previous episodes, and I've been going on and on and on about the daily, you know, in this really nice uptrend, you know, and every time it goes down, it just accumulates more, picks up more buys, picks up more buys, picks up more buys, and then I made a reference to this area just here. So we had these, you know, this upward pressure, these wicks, these tails where price is going down, but it's pushing back up, and then it comes all the way down, clears everything out, picks up that last portion. This tail right here comes into this tail right here. Now, if you want to do a study, take that tail right here and break it down on the hourly. Yeah, go to the hourly chart of this tail and have a look where that stopped. Yeah. That's a really, really cool study to do. If you've got time, do the study. Yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And then it starts to grind up. But it's all upward pressure, yeah? And obviously we have that much higher weekly level, you know, all the way over here, which is where I ultimately believe, you know, the pound USD is going to be, you know, going to be headed. So for me, this is you know, a no-brainer after... You know, after we see the market opens, you know, we get this pretty sort of muted sideways action. You get a really nice drop draw in London, really nice reversal. So this is complete negation. It's just reverses completely, and then it starts to grind, and it holds, and you see the first dip just here and reversal, and then it starts to grind again. You get the second dip. I sat through that dip, which was absolutely nothing. It was so muted. It was very, very just bleh, bleh, and then it just kind of slowly started to grind up. By, you know, this point here, I was actually asleep, and then when I woke up this morning, you know, I actually woke up around about 4:15, you know, made myself a cup of tea, whatever, you know, sat through a little bit of this nothingness, and then I just closed the trade out, you know, and then plodded off and did some other stuff. But, you know, the confidence that I had in, you know, opening the trade at the time of day that I did is the upward pressure on the daily, the analysis on the weekly, you know, the higher time frame wins as far as I'm concerned every time, but more importantly, the confirmation that the hourly is showing me, and the I'm going to mention it now, and then I'll continue to add and build on this through the lessons on Euro, Japanese yen. But the pickups of liquidity, where price is picking up liquidity, okay, and then offloading that liquidity, tells me that this was going to run during Asia, okay, but you'll have to just wait and stick around, you know, for that. Sorry, excuse me. I've got really bad asthma, guys. Sorry, and I've not had a really good day in terms of my asthma today. So if I'm wheezing a little bit, I do apologise. The pickups of liquidity and the way that it's offloading that liquidity, right, and still holding the buy liquidity as it's running up, gave me the absolute confidence in holding this. But as I'm doing the lessons on Euro JPY, you're going to see the analysis part of the pickups as I'm doing this, yeah. And today's slight introduction into that, okay, so we're going to get into that now. So there's the first trade. I'll take these off. So this is the first trade on the account. It's a profitable trade. I'm happy with it. Okay, won't be doing any more trading for this week. That's the trading done. I only like, if I find a nice trade and I'm happy with the trade, there's no reason to enter the trade, but I will continue to do episodes, obviously, in the lessons at the end of each, you know, video. Okay, so let's move on to the lesson, Euro Japanese yen. So as I left you guys in lesson 2, I was talking about these two areas, okay, and I was asking you, you know, on the left of these areas, you know, the reaction points of these two, why you believe price reacted there, and where do you believe the liquidity is, okay, in these areas, because you can see that price came down, okay, and it reacted here, but where's the liquidity? Is it just in the middle of nowhere? You know, of course not. Yeah, there has to be liquidity somewhere. Now, we as people who use, or traders who use candlesticks, some people use, line charts, some people use, bar charts, and there's many different ways of looking at the market, yeah, and different styles of looking at the market, there's lots of different ways of representing price. I prefer candlesticks, yeah, but when you're looking at candlesticks in this way, and I'm not talking about patterns, I'm just talking about understanding where the pickups are, where absorption of liquidity happens, because when price absorbs liquidity, it's done, it's finished. Yeah, there's ways of looking at price where you can see once price has gone to an area and absorbed that liquidity, there's nothing left. Yeah. Now, some people argue with me on this. They say, "Oh, that doesn't make sense," and they'll come back at me with an argument, and then I will say, "Yeah, but this, and this," and then it's kind of a tit for tat. For me, I let my consistency, and you'll see the consistency as we go through these episodes. Yeah, the account balance will hopefully grow, and you'll see that consistency. So I will let the results speak for themselves, and let the results testify for what I'm going to be teaching in these lessons. But there's always going to be an argument for and against everything in trading, and this is why I always focus on the trader and not the actual technicals or the methodology or anything else. So just go with that idea that the absorption of liquidity, once it's gone, it's finished, it's done, and it has to go somewhere else to find more liquidity. Yeah, if you start with that basic premise, yeah, you trust me, you won't go wrong in the marketplace. Okay, and then you have to build on that though. So I left you with, where is the liquidity? So if you look to the left of these two areas that I've noted, yeah, you immediately come to a bunch of candles. Yeah, now in this case down here, you look to the left and you come to this section over here, and when you look at these or this area up here, you look to the left and you keep going, and you come to this area over here. Now, as a general rule of thumb, the first bunch of candles that you hit is where the liquidity will be. Yeah, there are a few caveats to that, which they will present themselves, but I have to let the market do that. I can't force it. Okay, when they happen, it will just become obvious. But we come to these candles. Okay, now in lesson 4, okay, and I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a cliffhanger. In lesson 4, I'm going to go through a concept with you about the penetration of a level, okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that, yeah? I'm not going to go any more into this particular lesson. I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to talk about penetration into a level and what that actually means, and how the absorption of liquidity matters based on price hitting that level again and so on. But I'm not going to go into it today. I'm going to leave it as a cliffhanger, because I'm trying to force people to come back to these videos, because I know it's going to make a difference. Yeah, and if I can force people to come back, then hopefully they will stick with it and their trading will become better. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. I hope everybody's having an awesome day. I apologize if the videos, I'm trying to keep the videos down as much as I can. So I'm going to, leave it at that. Tomorrow we'll do the next lesson and the usual analysis on the charts. If you see something interesting, then obviously I'll point it out. As always, if you're finding value, guys, in what I'm sharing, please give the videos a thumbs up. I am slowly seeing the subscriber count going up, and I am trying to promote the YouTube channel. I really want this to grow into a positive trading community that's going to help a lot of traders out there. So we'll see how it goes, but if you find value, please give the videos a thumbs up, share them with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, to make sure that you don't miss any future updates for these series and any other videos that I post. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Speak soon.